So I'm Dr. Catherine Sellinger, work at the Children's Hospital at Montefiore, and I am Associate Director of the Pediatric Emergency Room. The thing that sold me on Intrigma is the technical support that I had, the customer service. Whenever I come upon a problem and I'm in the middle of doing my schedule, if I call Dan or if I call Chris and I said, I don't know how to work this out, they will immediately figure something out, and if they can't, they will get back to me and give me something that I could do in the process. So I cannot believe the amount of technical support that I have, even on the weekend. I didn't even think that I would be able to have, and I think I remember telling you that I felt like a kid in a candy store. I was like, oh, I can have that? Yes. So what I loved is that you had taken what I did manually and put it into a computer program. So even when I do the schedule, I do it in different blocks in a way. On a certain month, I'll do weekends first, then I'll do overnight shifts, then I'll do evening shifts, then I followed up with day shifts. And so it enables me to do it the same way that I manually had done it, to make sure everything, if it needs to be tweaked or anything needs to be changed, I'm able to do it in sections, as opposed to seeing it as a whole and making too many changes at once. I think the most frustrating part of the previous systems was when I had to put all the rules in for every provider myself, and I'm not a computer programmer. So it took me a while to sort of figure out what it was, and every month I sort of had to change it, and it was very frustrating. The other part is it did not give me flexibility within the schedule. I was actually even willing to change my hours and do more 12-hour shifts or 11-hour shifts, and it still wasn't able to accommodate what I needed. And I think also the customer service, the technical support wasn't there. I only have a certain block of time that I'm able to work on the schedule, and when I'd call for help, either it was too complicated a question, they couldn't help me with that time and would have to get back to me at a later time, but I was put on hold for a while, and the concerns weren't addressed. You clearly know I'm not a computer programmer, and a lot of these features are user-friendly. And many times, I know Intrigma has sort of taken over the computer with me, watching what you're doing or telling me what to do, so I've learned a few of the steps. Or if it is even a more complicated problem that I come across, I know that Dan or Chris would actually change it for me within the system and change whatever I needed. So it's pretty user-friendly. And I also like that the people who are coming in to put the requests in also find it user-friendly and love that it's internet-based. The docs like it. I have to say, I love doing this from home. It gives me the flexibility of being home, so when my son comes home from school, I'm still here. But I can work on this here, and Intrigma did give me the second screen, so I was able to actually see two parts of the program at the same time, which has made a world of difference. I didn't even realize how wonderful it was until I actually had the second screen, and I'm able to see the computer on one side and all the shifts here, and the tracking system on the other. So very helpful, and I actually now am finding that I'm home doing the schedule more than I am in the office because the computer screen is larger here and I have a dual screen.
I'm Peter Vicellio. I'm the Vice Chairman of Emergency Medicine at Stony Brook and the Clinical Director of the Emergency Department in the hospital. Well, we have a very complex schedule. It involves a lot of people, a lot of different shifts, and it becomes nightmarish to try to do the schedule and at the same time take into account what people's preferences are, when they have time off, do they want to work an evening instead of a day. All these sorts of things are very difficult to factor in. And we never were able to find a good package that would really take into account all the stuff we wanted to take into account, which is why we worked with you to see if we could develop something that would actually do all of those things. As a sideline to this, we started using it with our residency, and the residents found it very easy to use. They could generate a schedule faster. It was much easier for them to work out shifts, vacations, and this sort of thing. And as we're doing this, suddenly it became very important for compliance reasons to also keep track exactly of what hours they were working so that we could document that they were not in violation of the regulations that limit resident working hours. Schedules, you can't always generate a schedule that you want, that there's conflicts, that I want the day off and you want the day off, who wins? So you can program in who wins, but the other thing you can do is track people over time, how many requests have been made, how many requests have been fulfilled, so that they get weighted differently as you use the program more and more, so that you can not only assure fairness, but you can demonstrate fairness as well by the reports you can generate from the scheduling system. If there were another software program that would do what we wanted it to do, we may have never ventured into this. But the simple point is we could not find a program that would take into account all the different things we wanted to take into account in generating a schedule that would make our group happy.